New leaked set photos for episode 9 are pretty interesting. Rian Johnson talked about some of his inspiration for The Last Jedi script. A Hobbit is not going to Isengard, and some of the actors in episode 9 talked a little bit about Star Wars.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
Warning, this video does contain spoilers, or rather potential spoilers for episode 9, so if you're trying to stay spoiler free, please don't watch. And also, if you're trying to stay spoiler free, I applaud your restraint. I don't have any of that. First, let's talk about MakingStarWars.net, who is covering a jungle scene that's going to be in episode 9, and they got some really great photos. They report that in Black Park, next to Pinewood Studios, where they do a lot of filming for Star Wars, there are 2 sets. What they call Location 1 appears to have the Millennium Falcon and be covered in exotic vines. Location 2 appears to have an area dug up with rocks around it. They reported wood at the base of the ground and some tarps that could be to make the jungle floor or to make a pond or small bit of water. It is being speculated that the rocks may be for decor or for characters to stop and have a discussion around them, or perhaps while sitting on them. Rumors are that there's a cave that's going to lead into this jungle area and that through the cave leads to a resistance base, which one of my favorite things during the Empire era was reading and seeing some of the rebels' bases or potential bases. And if you're interested in a potential rebel base that was actually really terrifying, I suggest reading Heir to the Jedi. Though warning, that book is a bit sad. Maybe this jungle base fits in with Poe's look in other leaked photos. So I'm actually hoping this is one resistance base and we'll see a few more scattered about the galaxy. It could really open up for some really fun new locations in episode 9. Next, Rian Johnson talked about how he watched a little bit of the Clone Wars, a wonderful animated TV series that is actually coming back soon, to prepare to write The Last Jedi script. When he was asked about the Mortis arc from the Clone Wars on Twitter, Rian responded, "I rewatched these episodes on Dave Filoni's advice early in the writing process. They're so gorgeous and boundary pushing." So you might be wondering if you've never watched the Clone Wars or it's been a really long time, because honestly there's certain episodes that I haven't seen in years and I went back and watched recently and I was like, oh, I completely fucking forgot that. So you might be asking, what's the Mortis arc? Well, it involved the realm Mortis, which was within the Force and a conduit through which the Force flowed. In the realm, there were 3 beings in an eternal struggle for dominance. The daughter, who represented creation on Mortis and peace, the son, who represented the more dangerous aspects of the realm and destruction, and the father, who maintained the balance of the Force between them. We know Rian Johnson was trying to mess with the Force and what it meant.
And this is the lesson. That Force does not belong to the Jedi. To say that if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity. Can you feel that?
He kind of failed at that, in my opinion, which is my opinion. People that send me threats because I don't like The Last Jedi, it's gonna be okay. It's just my opinion. But I can definitely see how Rian drew inspiration from that arc with messing with the Force and different aspects of it. But this tweet does help us see that Rian did work closely, or at least take advice from other top players at Lucasfilm. The higher-ups at Lucasfilm seem to really, really love Rian, so perhaps him working with them and asking for their input endeared him to them. After all, we know Disney has liked people they can control of late, which I kinda don't blame Disney on that front, but it is a trend that's been going on lately. Next, let's talk about Dreamboat Oscar Isaac, who talked a little bit about episode 9. And he talked about the Resistance and where they're at right now, saying the Resistance are guerrilla fighters adhering closer to something like the Revolutionary War fighters or even the guerrillas in Cuba, and all these guys living in the mountains, coming down to do some attacks and going back and trying to hide from the Empire of the United States. It's that kind of ragged at this point. Obviously, we can expect, since the Resistance has much smaller numbers than the First Order, they're not going to go out and just outright attack them. At least not till they have stronger numbers. They're gonna do quick attacks in and out and go back into hiding. And if they're following what we've been seeing in the Poe comic series with the rest of Black Squadron trying to recruit for the Resistance, we could see them sending teams to help liberate or work with planets oppressed by the First Order, much like the Rebellion did with the Empire. Next, Hux actor Donald Gleason spoke on paranoia of having read the entire script for episode 9 and now knowing everything that happens. He gave an example of accidentally giving something away in the script, such as, Skywalker did this. But that could have just been an example and not a spoiler that a Skywalker does something crazy in this episode. Or maybe he actually knows Luke does something super crazy exciting in episode 9. The part of me that is all about hype chooses to believe that. But speaking of Luke, Mark Hamill posted a Labor Day photo, sans beard, saying he goes to work tomorrow. Now, I'm still betting work is meaning for Star Wars, but he has some other projects he's working on this year, so it's not 100%. Personally, I would want Force Ghost Luke to look like the trim beard Luke we saw on Crate when he Force projected himself, but clean-shaven Luke to look more like his younger self would be fine too. I don't know, I just want a wiser, happier Luke back in episode 9. And you know we're getting Force Ghost Luke in episode 9. Don't even pretend like we're not. Oh, and also again, Billy D is looking amazing for his return to Star Wars in episode 9. That guy is killing it. Lastly, I'm sure someone's favorite Hobbit is in episode 9 and seems to be super excited about going to work. I just love how excited he is for Star Wars and about being in a Star Wars film. Which, depending on how well received his character is, could actually end with him hating Star Wars for the rest of his life because idiots will send him death threats. Because remember, if you hate a character, you should definitely send death threats to the actor that plays that character. That's like the best plan ever. Alright, so do you think Luke will have a beard in episode 9? Let me know in the comment section down below.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.